Hello and welcome to another webinar in our series. As a season starter, we talk today about the initial setup of ForeFlight. So if you are new with ForeFlight, stay tuned and watch what's coming. At first, you have to select the right device. As you may know, ForeFlight runs on Apple devices and not on Android devices, so the iPad is a tablet of choice. Apple provides different sizes of iPads, so starting from the small iPad mini, I think today in the 6th generation, and up to the 13-inch iPad Pro, which provides a stunning display and is an awesome device, but probably too large for many cockpits. So if you have the chance, so take an iPad Air or an iPad Pro if you need more power. Next is what kind of device you have to choose. Apple provides Wi-Fi only devices and devices with Wi-Fi and mobile connectivity. The advantage is that these combined devices have a built-in GPS chip and can get your position without any external connection. As a storage capacity, 64 gigabytes is the minimum, 256 gigabytes of storage is a good choice and gives you enough space for running also other applications. So the best iPad for general aviation pilots is an 11-inch iPad Pro or iPad Air. If you have a tight cockpit, an iPad mini 6 is a good choice. And the storage capacity I talked about. So select your iPad first, the size, choose your connectivity, and finally choose the storage you want to have, and then you have the right selection. An ForeFlight individual account supports up to 3 devices in parallel use. That could be 2 iPads, 1 iPhone, or 1 iPad, 2 iPhones, not 3 devices of a kind. To install the ForeFlight mobile app, go to the Apple App Store and search for ForeFlight mobile EFB, and you can find the solution here. Open or install the app. When selecting the app in the Apple App Store, you get information about the release notes, for example. What's new? And here is a complete version history. After installation, open the app and look for the About tab. Here you can find the currently installed release number. So if you run in trouble and have to contact our pilot support team, what you can also do here, that is a number the pilot support team is asking for. Okay, close it. And now select account. If you are using ForeFlight the first time, you have to create an account and sign in. If you have already signed in, you can find here your information like the name, mobile phone number, which is important for filing flight plans and getting flight plan information. your email address, which is the login name finally. Here you can change your email or reset your password by sending an forgot password email. You see the device name, which you can change, and you can have an overview of your current subscription. Here in that example, in that screenshot, you see a ForeFlight Premium USA and this Jeppesen chart coverage. Further down, you can also manage the devices in your account. So if you have loosened a device and want to add a new device to the account, you can remove the old device here. Okay, closing the window in the top left corner. We want to go back to the iPad settings screen and select the iPad settings. As you may know, Apple is updating their operating system, iOS, several times. And our team is checking every new release for compatibility with ForeFlight. Please wait until you get the OK message to install new iOS software releases. You can disable automatic update by selecting software update, automatic updates, and switching automated updates off. Make sure you keep your iPad cool when using it. So try to protect it for too much sun in the cockpit, and also make sure it's not running out of battery power. Select an built-in USB port, which is the best solution, or a power pack to keep your battery charged. Okay, in case your iPad has Wi-Fi only, there is a solution. Connectivity. Go to More and Devices in the ForeFlight mobile app. And here in that case, you can see there is a Sentry Plus connected to the application. Every GDL90 external device is supported. So a bunch of mobile devices are supported, providing GPS information and many things more to the ForeFlight mobile app. But you can also connect to your built-in avionics, to Everdyn, Dynon, or Garmin avionics. And depending from the vendor, different capabilities are provided by these mobile devices. And that works for all devices, independent if you have an cell phone device or mobile device and Wi-Fi only. When you connect to the Sentry, the app is checking if a new software update is available for the Sentry Plus, and the software is updated automatically. When selecting the icon, you can go into the details. Here, many options more are available, and that depends from the connected device. For the Sentry Plus, for example, you can connect the Sentry Plus as a client in another network. So, for example, you have an Everdyn IFD 440 540, which connects via Wi-Fi to the iPad. So then you can make the Sentry Plus a client in the Everdine Wi-Fi network to get the information and share the flight plan with the avionics, and on the other hand get traffic information from your Sentry Plus. Yeah. So it works in different ways. You can configure the Sentry Plus as a host or the avionics as a host. Yeah, and depending from your dedicated setup, both options are available, and you have to select what is the best for your personal use case. Going further down, you have here information about the traffic received. So sometimes people have concerns because one of the LEDs in the Sentry Plus stays red when flying outside the US. The simple reason is that there are no traffic information service ground stations in Europe or outside the US, and that's the reason the LED stays in red. But you get ADS-B traffic information, or if you have a FLARM license, you can also get FLARM traffic information to the ForeFlight mobile app. Here you can also configure the LED brightness of your Sentry Plus, or enable auto brightness for automatic adaptation to the outside light. Further down, you can import track logs from the Sentry Plus. The Sentry Plus not only provides carbon monoxide sensoring, traffic information, ADS-B and FLARM, and HRS attitude sensor, or it also includes a flight data recorder, and here you can import flight logs from the Sentry Plus, or enable automatic track log import as soon you connect your iPad to the Sentry Plus. All track logs will be imported automatically. Furthermore, you have different options for powering on or off the device, and you can select if you want to use Sentry Plus as a GPS or HRS source. When connected to the avionics, and the avionics provides HRS information and GPS information, the avionics is always the primary source, and the Sentry Plus becomes only the fallback version for GPS and HRS information. Okay. In the top right corner of the devices screen, you have also general information. Here you can get quick information about the connected SSID of the Wi-Fi network, the IP address, and some things more. It's possible to stay connected to a Wi-Fi device with the ForeFlight mobile app, and parallel receive weather information via the mobile network if you have some ground stations in connection. Okay. If you want to learn more about ForeFlight Connect, go to our website. Here you can download the buying guide, and you can get also more detailed information about the different avionics we support in our system. Here, that's a buying guide. You can read it, get detailed information about every solution we can connect with a ForeFlight mobile app. Okay. As I said, Wi-Fi and cellular iPads can connect both to Wi-Fi and cellular data to get traffic information via Wi-Fi from your mobile device and weather information, for example, via the cellular device, or when you want to fly flight plans, that works also via the cellular network. Okay. In the map settings of the ForeFlight mobile app, you have different alerts you can enable. And yeah, going to alerts. First thing we recommend, especially when connected via Bluetooth to a Bluetooth headset or to a Bluetooth audio panel, is enable Speak All Alerts.
ForeFlight audio alerts are now active. I'm ready to get airborne.
Yeah, that's a confirmation. If you hear this, your headphone or your audio panel is connected, and you will now get alerts, acoustical. What is a huge help, because it helps you to have more time for looking out of the cockpit instead of looking down and searching for hazards on your iPad. For traffic, we provide different options. Of course, you can enable airborne traffic alerts if other aircrafts are passing your flight path. You can enable also runway alerts, so traffic on runways or traffic on short final when approaching airfields. And finally, you can enable wake turbulence alerts. Wake turbulence alerts work in a way that we are discovering the ADS-B signal from other aircraft, taking the weight category of that aircraft out of the ADS-B signal. And in case of an heavy or super heavy aircraft, we are calculating based on the speed, altitude, wind data, the wake turbulence, and give you a warning and then visual depiction of the wake turbulence on the map. Very useful. Okay. You can use connectivity also when working on flights. I select here one flight we created during the past webinar. And if you have prepared your flight and you want to share it with your partner in the cockpit or somebody else, tap to the Send To button, Share Flight, and here you can not only share the flight via email or messenger, you can also airdrop it to the other device, and immediately the peer will get the identical flight information on his iPad. Now we have talked about the iPad, we have talked about mobile devices, and there are a lot of options available for making your life in the cockpit easier by offering some mounts or battery packs. If you want to have more information, visit the support center on our webpage, and here we have some recommendations for you. Here different mounts or battery backup devices. So in Europe, you can get Sentry Plus and related devices via Skyfox or Eisenschmidt or Pilot Shop Luxembourg, for example. Yeah, a good investment is a cooling case to keep your iPad cooled when flying in summer. The Apple Pencil is of course a pretty cool device for making annotations on the map or writing your scratch pads or making notes or simply making notes on documents you want to have. But if you have a chance, grab an ForeFlight pen. The ForeFlight pen has a rubber end, and you can use also that rubber end to make these notes. It works better, at least for me, when writing with a finger, which is of course also possible. So Apple Pencil is a good addition to the device, but a right pen makes it as well. So far to the selection of the devices. ForeFlight is available in 3 flavors for individual pilots. It's a starter, essential and premium license. The starter license, 117 euros plus VAT, depending on the country where you live in, is great for infrequent flyers. If you are fine with normal aeronautical information, if you want to fly, as you have learned in a flight school, if you have watched the IFR starter webinar, which was completely based on the starter license, you figure out that that's not a limitation, that you can't or can only fly VFR, or it's only with limited data. You have all data available. There you have not all features available, but that is right. But you can fly European-wide or worldwide also with a starter license. But essential makes the life easier. For 235 euros a year plus VAT, you get everything in starter. But additionally, you have georeferenced approach plates, your position on approach plates. You can display approach plates in the en route map. You have some hazard avoidance features for terrain and obstacles, synthetic vision. You have additional weather layers for icing, turbulence, and cloud coverage, for example, and the profile view. And finally, the premium license, 350 euros a year plus VAT, adds pre-built aircraft performance profiles with integrated mass and balance and takeoff and landing performance. In the ForeFlight mobile app, you have advanced routing options for instrument flights. You have weather depiction in the profile view. You have 3D visualization of landing fields, of weather, of your complete planned route, and many things more. The ForeFlight mobile app with European coverage comes with all data you need for flying in Europe. Also here we offer Jeppesen charts as a good addition to the ForeFlight subscription. You can buy the Jeppesen charts via the ForeFlight buying page as an add-on to your app, sorry, or as a Jeppesen chart for depiction in your browser in your web. So the advantage is that with the app installation is that you get the Jeppesen charts automatically on all 3 possible devices in your account. The disadvantage is that you cannot share a Jeppesen chart with a peer, which works if you have Jeppesen charts via a chart view addition to the cockpit avionics. There you get 4 seats for installation on individual devices, and if you have a co-owned aircraft, 4 owners, every owner can get 1 seat for his mobile device. For backup, he needs, of course, additional seats. Yep. Okay, to have a look, go to More, select Jeppesen, and here you can have an overview of the current Jeppesen installation. Here in that case, you have a Jeppesen account linked to the ForeFlight mobile app and a linked coverage installed. But you have also purchased through ForeFlight the coverage. So you can see you can do both. Depending where you are flying, how frequently you are flying, and in which different regions you are flying, every solution could make sense. So you can, for example, connect up to 6 different Jeppesen accounts to a single ForeFlight account. So for the normal general aviation pilot, there is nearly no limit. One comment to the licensing model: you can up and downgrade a ForeFlight license at every time, always, and the remaining value of your current subscription will be credited to your account, and so that you finally only pay for the real usage. It's very flexible and gives you many options if you fly in different regions or have different requirements over the year. In the Jeppesen pop-up window, you have also some options. You can enable the chart index numbers, which is helpful if you because sometimes in Jeppesen charts you have links to other Jeppesen charts based on this chart index number, and displaying the chart index number is always a good choice. And if you have government charts, so Eurocontrol charts or Jeppesen charts installed parallel, then you can prioritize Jeppesen plates being shown at first here in that case. What I recommend to have switched off is a so-called VFR theme that is not a VFR theme. It's only so-called. Yeah, it's more or less other Jeppesen IFR map. It will be depicted and is not useful for flying in Europe. So keep it off. You can also manage all downloads here, and after enabling or adding Jeppesen charts, automatically the download starts and the data are updated. If you change your Jeppesen subscription and you wonder why the change does not appear in your app, simply delete the en route charts or the terminal charts by swiping them to the left and deleting them, and download it new, and immediately the new coverage will appear in your app. Okay. So here you can see how Jeppesen plates are displayed in the airport information. Under procedures, here you can see the departures, and on top you see in the Jeppesen section with the standard instrument departures and the chart index 10-3, 10-3A, 10-3 Bravo. Right beside of you can see the send to map icon. That means that is at least an essential license here, and all georeference charts have that icon. If you look down into the FAA section, the government procedure charts for the departures for the US are not georeferenced for this airfield. That's how the instrument departure looks like on the app. And here you can see the approach plate. If you want to make sure you are using the right units in the ForeFlight mobile app, go to More, Settings, search for Units Time, and in Units Time you can set your units you want to have. Runway length a meter, pressure in hectopascal, and so on. Okay, now we have the right device. We have the ForeFlight mobile app installed. We have done some general settings. Now we add our first aircraft profile. Go to More and Aircraft. Always mandatory fields or required fields are marked in yellow. At least you have to put in your tail number. I selected Oscar Echo Alpha Bravo Charlie. Next thing is to select the aircraft type. Here you have a search line, and searching for DA40, for example, delivers a number of different profiles. Also, if you're only using a starter or essential license, I recommend already selecting the right profile you want to use for your aircraft. Here in that case, DA40 next generation with Austria engine. The difference is, or the point is, at the moment you are flying the starter essential only, and you have to manually create your performance profile. If you upgrade later to essential and you already have selected the right aircraft profile, automatically the right performance profiles appear. So on that reason, please select the right profile. What we are doing first, so here you can see the aircraft type. We go down and we change the fuel type to liters. You see it start taxi fuel takeoff. There are 1.48 gallons, and if we change that to liters, automatically the numbers are converted into liters. So fuel start taxi takeoff is for running the engine, taxiing to the departure, and doing the departure run. Okay. Now create your performance profile. As a starter or essential customer, you have to manually create your basic performance profile. And the minimum required numbers are true airspeed, cruise true airspeed, and cruise fuel per hour. So we put in 128 knots and 25 liters because we already have put in or change the unit 2 liters, we can put in our 25 liters here. Optionally, you can add also climb and descent performance numbers, speed, fuel per hour, fuel consumption, and the climb and descent rate. You can also give a name to the profile. I call it here 75% power. With make default, you can now set that aircraft or this performance profile as a default profile for your flight planning. Going back, you can now see you have one custom performance profile created. Going back, going down to the next section, filing configuration. It's more important for instrument flying, because if the filing configuration is not correct, then you won't get a proper route and also get error messages when filing flight plans. But also for VFR flying, it's important to have a minimum settings here put in to get your flight plan filed in the right way. We start with ICAO equipment, which is a built-in avionics, ICAO surveillance, a built-in transponder, which is of course also an avionics device. And then for instrument flying, the performance-based navigation. ICAO equipment, of course, general aviation aircraft, you have a GPS, you have a DME, you have an VOR and NAVCOM, you have 8 kilohertz frequency spacing. Putting all these numbers, then you get finally here that combination of characters. For the transponder, here in that case, I put in the selection for a Garmin GTX 330 extended squidder, which means that it's a device which is sending ADS-B information. What is very helpful to be discovered by other aircraft in your vicinity. And finally, for the instrument pilots, I added the performance-based navigation numbers. If you want to learn more about it, watch the IFR Starter webinar. Other information here can put in comments, you can put in a specific type, the operator of the aircraft, if you have a November registered aircraft, and many things more. One question from the past webinar was, what if I want have default remarks when filing flight plans? Here's a field in the aircraft configuration. In the remarks field, you can put in the remarks you want to have permanently in your flight plans. If that was too fast for you, if you want to know more about the filing configuration, go in the ForeFlight mobile app to Documents, ForeFlight, select the ForeFlight filing guide, and here you can search for specific items. For example, ICAO performance-based navigation. What is it for? What does it mean? You see there are several pages about it. Tap on the page and you automatically get the information with notes. What does it mean? What you have to put in. Very helpful. Back in the aircraft configuration, we go down And finally, you have to put in the last information, the emergency radio, the ELT. Now the aircraft configuration is ready. We can make that aircraft the default aircraft. We can copy that aircraft. In case you're flying in a flying club or in a flight school with several identical aircraft, you can make different copies, change tail numbers for the different copies, and that's a pretty fast way to set up a fleet of aircraft. You can share on the top right corner with the Send To button also your aircraft profile with other pilots. So, aircraft is configured. What we also have to do is a mass and balance calculation. For that, we have to set up a mass and balance profile. In the mobile app, go to More and Mass and Balance. The first time you will be asked to enable enhanced mass and balance. I recommend to enable that feature. That helps you not only in a starter and essential license, that helps you also when you upgrade later to premium license with then completely integrated into the flight planning or mass and balance calculation. Okay. After enabling, you can select the mass and balance profile to work with it, or you can create a mass and balance profile. Here, the aircraft we have created is offered. And because DA40 has already mass and balance templates stored in the ForeFlight mobile app, you only have to select the option or the variant of aircraft you are flying and you want to use as a mass and balance calculation template. So, and that's nearly everything. The only thing you have to do is to put in the basic empty CG and the basic empty mass from your weighting sheet of your aircraft, and then check all the other numbers if everything is okay, and then you're done. Ready. Mass and balance ready. Is that cool? Of course, you can edit all parameters and can change them. You can also create empty or mass and balance profiles from an empty template. Now we have our mass and balance template here. We select it, and now we can start our mass and balance calculation. On the left side, we can put in the loads. We have several options. You can use standard masses, or you can put in individual masses, and as soon you give a description to a mass, that load is stored, and when adding additional loads, you can see that load under saved loads. Here in that example, I added too much mass into the tail compartment of the aircraft, and we got an error message. What I do is simply correct that number, and the message disappears. We now have to put in as essential and starter the fuel in the main tanks, the taxi fuel, and the fuel to the destination. And you can see in the envelope, you can now see the takeoff mass, the landing mass, the zero fuel mass. Everything is set up. With summary, you get a summary of your mass and balance calculation with a timestamp, and you can send that mass and balance calculation via email, stored on your device, or transfer it to other people. Okay, that's mass and balance. If you want to learn more about ForeFlight, if you are keen to review webinars or so, go to More and Discover. In Discover, you not only have the What's New section, where you can find all release notes with descriptions of the new or changed features. You have also a huge education section with information how to get started. You can hide the menu on the left side. Oops, here it comes. And now you can watch the videos, read blog posts, and many things more. If you run in trouble, go to More, scroll down, and select Support. Here as well have a direct link to the Getting Started section. You can search the support center, watch videos, read the pilot's guide, but you can also contact our pilot support team. Our pilot support team, available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Real pilots, controllers. Most people are flying by themselves and ready to answer your questions. Before closing, I want to go to the QA section of that webinar and answer some questions asked during the webinar.